what drives me mad in this day and age. Like, both can be true. He wasn't back in the summer properly. Correct. We all agree with that. But should he have done better this season so far? Yes. Facts. 2 facts there. It's like the other day, like, after the game, I was saying in my review on Adam McCullough TV, Joe, I was saying on my review that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got this game wrong. And people were saying to me, oh, Adam, you're making excuses for the players again. No, listen to what I'm saying. In the video, I actually said every individual played poorly. But ultimately, Ole got it wrong, and that's why we lost. And that's why I think they say, like, it's not always black and white, you know what I mean? And ultimately... Sorry, Joe.
It's not always black and white, but ultimately...
Yeah, like there's, you know... We need to pick up points. Yes, the board didn't back him in the summer, but is that an excuse for not beating Arsenal at the weekend, for the negative way that we played, for the way we performed? Is that an excuse for the amount of points we have dropped at home, 11 out of 18, I think it is? Is it an excuse for that? No, it's not an excuse for that.
But here's the thing, though. So let's say that if the manager isn't backed and therefore the results are going to be worse because the team isn't the team that it should be, you say that's not an excuse. But what did you think?
Bro, did we have enough to beat Arsenal?
What did you think?
Did we have enough to beat Arsenal?
Yeah. We did. We should have done.
Did we have enough to beat Chelsea?
Yes.
Did the way we set up affect the result?
Did the way we set up come as a result of our personnel? For example, Martial being suspended for those games, we talked about it at the team news. Let's say not only Martial was out, okay, that's one thing, he made a mistake there. If we had Sancho, we could have played a wider system. We could have had a different...
Again,
surely the lack of transfers is going to result in negative performances.
Yes, and it also affects the morale in the dressing room. And also, I'll support your point here by saying, if we sign Cavani 3 weeks earlier, he can start against Chelsea and Arsenal. So already you're then... Rashford goes into his best position of out wide. Your team takes better shape. So, yes, the transfer window does have an impact, but you can't use that as an excuse for some of these individual games. You can use it as an excuse for the bigger picture if we don't challenge for the league title. But we've got more than enough there to be comfortably finishing in the top 4. But we've got more than enough there to be beating an Arsenal side that we're sitting 15th in the shots taken table or whatever the hell that is. But Chelsea, this Chelsea team, bro, they've been conceding goals left, right, and centre, and they came to Old Trafford and we played like puddies, bro.
Yeah,
the only way to put it, we were absolutely negative.
There's a little bit in this where when Ole first come in with the Mourinho team that was set up, and we ended up with Mourinho playing. He's obsessed. We were playing this defensive football under Mourinho. And then Ole come in and went, let's play Martial, let's play Rashford, let's play, even Jesse Lingard in there. And we started attacking again. Pogba came back in the team. And now it almost feels back to front a bit again now, where Ole's kind of defending even more again now. He's now sitting back and you're thinking someone else could come in and change this. But why? Why has that changed? Why has Ole changed his mind almost? Ole kind of freed up all these players when he first come in. And now it seems like we've gone to the opposite again, where we're kind of a little bit afraid of the back four, a little bit afraid of what's going on. Instead of doing what we did when Ole first came in, which was said, do you know what? Maybe we're not that good defensively. Well, let's just attack teams. We've got the players to do it now. We've got 3 attacking midfielders that are quality footballers. We've got a great mix of front 4 players. And I don't quite get, and I agree with Adam in this way, you can't defend Ole in the fact that we sat back against Chelsea so much.
You can't just be blindly...
You can't.
No, I'm not...
And maybe,
yeah,
but
right.
the thing is, for 45 minutes you can say, do you know what, I expected more from Chelsea. And they've got Werner, they've got Havertz, they've scored some goals this season. Let's sit back and see what's going on. And I understand as well, they've just been... The last home game, they beat 6-1 by Tottenham. But in the second half, when you see that Chelsea are sitting back and looking a bit frail, go at them. You've got all the players to do it. Go and put 5 of our players on and go on, let's see what we can do here.
But when against PSG, sorry to cut you there, he showed, this is in praise of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Again, it's not all black and white. He does things very well. Against PSG, he changed the game. We won the game.
Yep.
Again, I was waiting against Arsenal. Waiting.
I think...
Where's the change coming from, Ole? Cavani on for McTominay or Fred. Rashford out wide, Cavani through the middle, 4-2-3-1. Go for them. We had like it was such a gaping hole between McTominay and Fred and the front two. Cavani, Pogba and Bruno were in these weird positions. It was odd, and you could see it wasn't working and didn't change it.
Yep.
So you deserve credit. You can't say if we signed Sancho, yeah, what? Sancho would have been isolated up top too. No, I'm just
I'm not saying that Sancho would have won us every game that we haven't won this season, but you're talking about bigger picture.
It would have made a big impact.
Surely the bigger picture is that once we get to the end of the season, I don't assume we're going to be in 16th or wherever we are now. This is small picture stuff. Each individual game is small picture stuff. A team that finishes top 4 but doesn't challenge for the league is going to lose games like that Arsenal game. Is going to draw games like that Chelsea game. We're going to be inconsistent.
Now I know every season's not the same, but let's look at it this way: we beat Spurs last season. We've already 3 points less than last season. We lost against Palace, all right, last season, same season as this season. But it's really that should have been 3 points we were gaining. We drew against Arsenal last year, or did we beat them?
Drew at home.
So we've dropped a point there. We beat Chelsea 4-0 last season. So we've dropped. So even if you contrast it to last season's performance with a better squad this season, we've done worse in those fixtures. Why?
Well, yeah. I mean, you got.
I think there was.
Part of that is the manager. I'm not saying it's not the manager.
Like with Jose, that's why people used to get onto me and say, Jose, you're not backing him. It's the Glazers' fault and that. In that summer, when he never got the signings that he wanted, I was furious for him. For him, I was furious. But then as the season progresses and you're playing negative football against Sevilla, that's not because we had a shit summer when you've got the players there. Do you know what I'm saying? Pogba and Marshall on the bench in that game. So you have to be able to analyse these things for what they are rather than, sticking to, I'm Ali in, so I'm going to defend everything he does, or I'm Ali out, so I'm going to criticise everything he does. Or Poch is available and I really want Poch, so I'm going to use that now. Like, I want Poch, but I'm not using that to put pressure on Ali.
But Ole, I'm not saying I'm Ole in, so I praise everything he does. I think he got the tactics wrong against Arsenal. But what I'm saying is the contrast of 2 or 3 weeks ago, we were all saying, what's going to happen here is we didn't get the players we want. The likes of Cavani, like you mentioned there, great point. If we'd have got him 3 weeks earlier whilst he was still available, he would have been fit enough to be starting these sorts of games. We could have played our usual tactics. Maybe we would have been able to play out from the back if we had some width, if we had different outlets. But the problem is, we go from 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, whenever the transfer window ended, saying, you know what, the board have done this again where they've not backed the manager properly. And then 3 weeks later, we've had a few bad results. Ole's shit. And I know you're not saying that, but it feels like we aren't consistent with how we are assessing the club at the moment. And I think it's easy now to just look at Ole because he's the manager and the games have started again.
How much of this
we're still in the same position we were then. Sorry.
This time last year, by the way, I thought Ole would have been sacked by Christmas. It's not what I wanted to happen. It's what I thought would happen.
Yeah.
What I want to happen is Ole wins every fucking thing. You know what I mean? But it's also possibly not going to happen. Now, last season, I thought he would have got sacked. He didn't. He earned that time till now. Now, he should have been backed. But you have to do better. You have to be judged as a Manchester United manager. You have to be. You have to be judged on your results. You live and die by those. Now, a part of it could be, because a lot of us thought he wasn't the man at the time, has he taken us as far as he could? Because he's done a lot of good for Man United. And that is possibly one of the nagging things, the doubts that I have now. Has he taken us as far as he could? That doesn't mean I'm not supporting him. That doesn't mean I don't want him to do well. It doesn't mean I don't want him to win every game. But that's one of the things.
I have that thoughts as well. And I have the same thoughts about Pochettino. I think what he did at Spurs was very good. But I also think that taking as far as we could just feels like the same thing we said about like Van Gaal. Maybe he's done as good as he could do as Man United and we need Mourinho to come in. And then it got to Mourinho, he kind of went, maybe he's not quite right and he's done as well as he could do with this kind of squad. What we did with that is we went, maybe Mourinho's a shit manager these days. That's what we did to discredit it.
Well, he was.
I'm agreeing that we've come up with a reason why the current manager can never possibly do it. Van Gaal was Moyes because he was overawed by the situation, which he may well have been. Van Gaal was because he's getting on a bit. He talked about retiring a couple of seasons ago. Maybe he's past it. His tactics don't work anymore. He's taken us as far as we could. Mourinho, he's fallen out with the board. He does this, doesn't he? He's got to go. I'm not saying that we should have kept any of those managers, but I think it seems to be a repeating pattern.
I'll exaggerate a point to make a point, though. I could be manager of Manchester United, not get backed, and still deserve to be sacked. Like, they go like they don't always go in hand. Like
it's
not
it's not mutually
No,
exclusive.
my worry with it is I agree with you there. I agree with you up there about Solskjaer could get to the point and if he keeps going on this pattern of if we keep losing games at home, it gets to a point you have to. But my worry is that I don't see where it goes from here. You know, we've done the big manager come in. We've done
but
the
I
club.
think that's
We've done someone that got
weird way to look at it.
No, and I agree. It's not that.
It's almost saying there's no better manager out there.
It's not that because Mourinho was at that point one of the top.
But
two
was
managers.
he?
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
His last job, the last job before Man United, he won the league with Chelsea.
Was Van Gaal though?
And then he took him 15th, bruv. Let's be realistic here.
Right.
Was he? When was Van Gaal's last success at international level?
But how can you be keen on Poch?
He was living off his.
How can you be keen on Poch?
I just like Poch. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying bring him in, he solves everything. Bring him in, we win the league, we win the Champions League. I don't think that. I don't think that at all. I just think if Man United's managerial job was available tomorrow, who would I go for?
Yeah. I agree.
I'm not using that against Oli. Never have.
That's my thoughts as well. If Oli does end up going, Pochettino comes in. There's a lot of people that wanted him instead of Mourinho, and I kind of agree. Looking back now, maybe I agree with that. But at the same time, is that I just see the same. I can just see the same cycle happening again. I can see the same cycle happening with the manager again, where he ends up doing okay. Maybe we play a bit of good football for the next couple of months or so, and then all of a sudden, he doesn't get backed. Maybe after a season, he doesn't get the players he needs to take the team to the next level, and then we end up sacking, and then we're in this position again. I think that's what you're kind of saying, Joe, is that if he keeps going and keeps going, if this cycle keeps going, it's never ending, and it almost seems as well like we've stopped throwing money at the problem.
Do you think it's true that we have sort of changed our tune on the way that Ole wasn't back just because the transfer window's shut now?
I think so. I think I agree with Adam in that sense that that you need to you have to have better results. This team is better than what it's doing right now, and that's the whole thing about. That was the same reason that Mourinho went, is that there was problems with Mourinho, but at the same time, he still wasn't. He still was making mistakes, and he still should have been doing better. So, there's the same point with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He may not be doing. There's reasons why he's not doing this. There's reasons because the pre-season wasn't right, and there's not enough players. But at the same time, I think he should be doing better with this squad currently.
Yeah, I do think they should be doing better.
It's very early.
We've got a good team. We've got a good team. We've got a very good team. But he built most of the good players in that team, or he rebuilt some of the players in that team. Like, look, our best players are, I would say, Pogba, Bruno, Martial, Rashford, and maybe Greenwood. I think those four are our best players. Pogba and Martial were on the way out the door when he arrived. Rashford was being called, see what I mean when he plays it. See what I mean when I said I've got no strikers. And Bruno wasn't even at the club. So I think you've got to give Ole credit for the reason we can say, you're doing worse with a better team. I think a lot of the reason the team is better is because of him.